Hey everyone, it's Kai from Cool Collectibles, back again for another review. This time it's the NECA Ultimate T800 from Terminator 2. For all your action figures, click that link in the description below to head on over to Robot Kingdom. They ship worldwide, so definitely check them out. Alright, so I thought I was going to get out of collecting 6-inch action figures from now on, but once I saw the photos of the new NECA Ultimate T800 here, I just couldn't resist picking it up. And it was about $21, $22 from Robot Kingdom, so not too bad a price as well. And I do love their collector style packaging in this Ultimate series. I'll just give you guys a quick look. This is the new packaging compared to their usual standard bubble sort of packaging that they have for most of their other 6-inch figures. So here's my Ellen Ripley that I've had for quite a few weeks now, and I haven't reviewed yet, so I'll get to that probably after this one. But just a quick look at the box. So you get the nice sort of photo on the front there with that scene at Cyberdyne. And I do love the fact that they've got this little Velcro slip. Adds a bit of class to the packaging there. And you get the window with quite a few accessories, it looks like. So I'm definitely upping their value with this Ultimate line. So a bit more of a photo there. The back there with a bit of a blurb, so you can pause and have a read if you want. But I'll crack this guy open and give you guys a closer look. Alright, I'll just quickly go through the accessories. It does come with quite a bit for this sort of Ultimate Edition. Comes with his little pistol. Just zoom in here. I'm no gun expert, so I'm not sure if this is the Smith & Wesson or whatever other model of gun that he had in the movie, but it looks fairly well painted. So no major issues there. They are all a fairly soft plastic and they do come out a little bit warped, so you might just have to spend a bit of time bending them around to get them back into place. So it comes with that pistol, comes with his pump action shotgun, which again is fairly nicely done. The wood parts are pretty nicely painted and the other metal parts have a nice sort of metal weathering and so on to it, so it's not too bad. It also comes with the grenade launcher. This one's probably the worst out of them all in terms of warpage. So the strap here is pretty soft, so you can just sort of move that out the way. Just be careful not to pull that too hard to snap them off. But as you can see, the rifle itself is all sort of bent out of place. I tried bending it back a little bit, but it is pretty soft and I didn't want to break anything too badly. But you might want to just dip it in some warm water or something like that to get that back straight. But in terms of the paint app and so on, it's not too bad. The wood part's probably the best looking out of them all. But the strap is just plastic, so it's not a fabric strap or anything, but not too bad. The biggest accessory is of course the minigun and backpack. So the minigun itself is pretty good. I'm not sure how I'm going to get the hands in there. It looks like everything is sort of bent. So this one's probably going to need the most work. If I just get him out of the way. So it looks like I don't even know if this is just warpage or what, but this metal piece here seems to be bent all the way down under here. So I'm not sure if it's meant to just curl under or if that's snapped off or what, to be honest. I'm not sure where that's meant to go. I'll have to probably check some movie stills or my 1/6 scale versions to see where the hell that's supposed to go. But this bullet casing thing here, whatever that thing is called, is a very soft plastic, which is probably a good thing. It's very flexible, so that just goes straight into the bottom of the backpack here. That's not a working zip or anything like that, and the backpack's sort of just molded so it fits around his arm and sits nicely against his back there. So just be careful of the gun itself. So yeah, so there looks to be a bit of warpage here on this metal piece, and the handle here is just, that's all sorts of ridiculous there. I don't know what they did to that. Actually, when I wasn't even sure if that was that little bend in the middle there was actually stuck on or deliberate, but it looks like there is a bit of a gap there. So you might just try and somehow pry that apart and somehow get that straight, because right about now it does look pretty ridiculous. And the handle is all sort of bent out of shape as well, so everything's a little bit warped. So I really do need to sort of find out if anything is actually broken off or anything like that. So just something to be aware of with the particular minigun here. He comes with 3 head sculpts, the one that he's got on, and these 2. So the one that he's got on is just a normal regular head sculpt with no damage or anything like that. This one is pretty heavily battle damaged. So I'll just zoom in on that. Overall, it does look pretty good. The blood and gore there is fairly nicely done, and the sculpt itself does look pretty close to Arnie for this particular scale. So can't complain too much about that, and a nice little bit of detail in the back there as well. The sculpt with the sunglasses is probably the best one in terms of likeness, but that's pretty standard for most Arnie figures, even in 1/6 scale, where he just looks so much more accurate with the sunglasses on. And this sculpt here, I do have an older NECA Terminator figure. This was from maybe about 3 years or so, 3 or 4 years ago, and it's even more of a like a statue. There's no articulation or anything like that, but there is a bit of a rotation in the thigh there. But he pretty much stands there like that, and the head sculpt I think is pretty much identical. So we can have a look there like that. Paint app is probably slightly more flesh-like on this version, and a bit more grey or greenish, if you want to call it that, on the newer version. But in hand, both of them do look pretty good. This one here in hand sort of looks a bit more realistic. This one looks a bit more sort of cartoonish. But for the base sculpt, I would say they're pretty much identical. So they've just reused that. But onto the figure. So it comes with the original head sculpt, and you pretty much just pull the head off. It's not too hard. You've got the little ball joint there, and then you can just pop those on. It's a bit tight, but heat it up with some boiling water or a hairdryer, and you're good to go. The bandolier is pretty good. Nicely detailed bandolier, and it fits fairly nicely as well. Not too loose and not too tight. I don't think it's removable with any sort of clip or anything. So if you do want to take it off, you probably have to take the head off and move it around the arm somehow. With the clothing, his jacket here is a nice sort of soft plastic, so it gives a lot of play for movement, and you can probably even take it off if you wanted to, but there's no point, because the arms are pretty much stuck like that in that colouring with the leather jacket. But you get the nice sort of bullet holes and all that sort of stuff, so lots of detailing there in the jacket. The arm articulation isn't too bad. That's probably about as far as it can go, and you can only go about 90 degrees with the hand there, and the arm, and the hand is pretty much designed specifically to hold the front part of the handle there that's warped. So the articulation, that's pretty much it. You do get the elbow rotation as well, but that's pretty much it. You do get some waist articulation, which is nice, but no ab crunch or anything like that. And he does have the grey t-shirt underneath, as opposed to the black one that I think he wore earlier in the movie. The pants, so you do get a bit of articulation in the legs there. The paint app's pretty good. It's got a nice sort of dirt wash to it, not overly done. So you do get the articulation. This groin piece is a softer plastic, so you can get a bit of play with the legs and so on. It's strange that similar to the older figure, it's got the thigh swivel on this left leg, but not on the right, and so the right is pretty much fixed in that sort of position. The articulation in the ankles is much better, so you do get a bit of play in all sorts of ankle rocking and tilt directions. But overall, not too much articulation in the legs. You do get the elbow bend, the knee bend up to about there, but nothing too spectacular. But for the most part, it will probably be posed in that position, holding the the minigun. Alright, so that is pretty much it for the new NECA Ultimate T800 from Terminator 2. Overall, once you set it all up, it does look pretty damn good on display. I guess the most disappointing thing for me is still the sort of warping and so on around the minigun. I guess I can understand why they went with a softer plastic, because trying to put the gun into the hands and so on, it does need a bit of play. That's okay, but just be careful with all of these warping parts and so on, and just make sure that your figure hasn't been broken or anything like that. So I just still need to double check a few bits of mine. But once you set it all up, it does look pretty damn good. So on display, just futz around with it and pose it up, and you'll have a pretty awesome figure. I think the Sarah Connor comes out in November, so in a couple of weeks perhaps. And that should complement this version pretty damn nicely. Here's the original one that I had from about 3 or 4 years ago. So it's definitely a good upgrade. This was pretty much a statue. And this one here on the left has a few other options with all the different head sculpts and weapons. So for the price, you get a pretty good figure. So hopefully you like that quick look. Hopefully you can click that subscribe button and stay tuned for my NECA Aliens reviews and Sarah Connor coming up in the next few days and a couple of weeks. So thanks again. I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers. Bye.